Welcome to the Matt Rats podcast. This is Choked Out Chats. We're here to talk Jiu Jitsu, training, mindset, and all the chaos that happens on and off the mats. We've got new episodes coming every week. Let's roll.
All right.
Join us here.
I'll start.
You gonna start?
So I started
Big T.
Jiu Jitsu. I walked in. I always wanted to do some type of fight style
You just wanted to grow some balls, basically.
my entire life.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was looking online, and I found Josh Marie's gym, Evolution X Martial Arts. And I walked in there. And I walked in, I said, "Hey, I'd like to sign up." You know, he did small circle jiu-jitsu and Brazilian jiu-jitsu. And I was kind of more keen on the small circle. I didn't really know much about BJJ at the time.
What about small circle did you like? Or
Just like the just like a fight style and just being, I guess, more like a self-defense type of fight style, that I guess, or so. But I also kind of wanted to learn how to protect myself in those situations, I guess, right?
Yeah.
But he also had the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class. So anyways, I started in there, and I asked him if I could sign up for a class. And he said, "Why don't you come and try it out?" I tried it out. And then I fell in love with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu after that class, because he had the small circle class, and then he also had the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class.
Right.
And after I did the Jiu-Jitsu class, I went back to Brittany, and I was telling her how much I loved Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in comparison to the small circle, even though I love small circle. And then, yeah, it's like ever since I did that, the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu just kind of kicked off for me. And that's where everything started from there.
All right, so did you always wanted to do
No.
jiu-jitsu? Or
No.
was it just because the fact that, like, you know, you always wanted to do some sort of combat
Yeah,
sport?
just something, like a combat sport, more like a fight style of some sort. Mm-hmm. And like I said, the small circle was kind of cool because it was just kind of like, but yeah. Anyways, it transpired into the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is what I loved, and then that's how it happened. So, was at Josh's gym for a while there, and then DJ came in and did a Saturday class, and I really like DJ's style too as well. And then did a couple Saturdays at Jason's gym, or we did Diego Saraiva, right? Mm-hmm. And then started spending more time over there, and that's how it all kind of came to fruition.
What was it about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu versus the small circle that you were like, oh, this is my shit?
I don't know. I guess maybe this is kind of like a downside, but like my ankle situation.
Right.
I think I like I obviously like the grappling more. I wasn't like into the kicking and the punching more so. I was more into the grappling. I feel like I had better control in the grappling situation.
So those of the people that don't know, what's going on with your ankle?
Oh yeah, so my ankle, I have a fused ankle. My right ankle is fused, which means it doesn't move essentially. So like you can kind of see it right here.
How old were you when you fell off?
That was 2009. So versus this ankle, right? Versus this one right here. So in 2009, I got bucked off a horse, and I had a compound fracture, a tib-fib, compound fracture. So my tibia popped out and shit. Fibula snapped. So I had to have that repaired. But over the years, as it became fully arthritic, so so I had to what's called a fusion. So I had to have a bone grew. They pretty much grew my bone in, so I don't have motion, but I don't have any pain now, because the pain was pretty severe.
And what is it where
So
if like you hurt it, or it's like they only can do so many repairs before you have to get it amputated?
So that takes a while, but like right now, if I were to get an ankle replacement, it's kind of considered malpractice at my age due to the activity level. And so like they can only do so like if I were to get a replacement right now, the technology, I guess, is, I'm not a doctor by any means, but I think they were saying like 5 to like 10 years or even less than that, right? With like constant athleticism.
Bro,
so like
that's crazy.
it'd be 5 years. So what? I'm 40 now, so I'd be 45. Another revision, 50. Another revision. So like eventually you can only have a certain amount of revisions where you could potentially have to amputate.
Jeez.
Yeah. So that's why I fused, obviously.
Yikes.
Okay, so with knowing all that risk, where at the end of the day, if worse comes to worse, you need to amputate your leg, right?
Yeah.
Well, not leg, but your foot, right?
Yeah.
why do you still continue to do jiu-jitsu?
Well, I think it's the one thing I love, and the whole reason why I drive out to Jason's gym, which is to see everybody, is it's an hour drive for me, but it's the camaraderie, man. It's the community. It's the jiu-jitsu community for me. It means the world, you know. But also the challenges on and off the mat too. It's like whenever you go there, at least for me, is doing my job and sales in the South. You know, it's like you're turned on all the time. Your head's going 100 miles an hour. When you step on the mat, it just all kind of gets quiet, you know, and that's like your time.
Yeah, I
and I think that's why I love that time. That hour is just kind of like my time, you know. And then the community. I mean, that's how we all met right here.
Yeah.
You know, is the camaraderie all together. I think that's what's so neat, and it's turned into such a strong friendship, you know.
Yep.
And I think that's what's
Oh,
so
yeah,
cool
for
about
sure.
all this, you know. This is really neat.
I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean,
Why'd you start, Jay?
so I started because I used to wrestle back in high school.
Where'd you go to high
And
school?
I went to North Gwinnett,
Okay.
and I wrestled over there, and I always been scrappy my entire life, and I was just like, you know, I miss the mats. I want to do something, and I know jiu-jitsu is something, you know, you're basically on the mat, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I could have picked up judo, but jiu-jitsu was something where I was more interested in. And to tell you the truth, I didn't even know there was no gi or gi. Like when I called Jason, I was like, "So what's a gi?" Like I had no idea what no gi or a gi even was.
I didn't even know what no gi was.
Yeah. So like he explained it to me. Like I had zero idea. I didn't do any research. But one thing I did know was you're on the mat. You know.
Right.
So he was like, "Yeah, just come through." Literally, you know, I spoke to Jason, and he was like, "Yeah, come on this day." And literally, after the first class, I was like, "Yeah, I'm signing up."
Yeah.
That was it, you know.
Yep.
I just miss being on the mat, and ever since then, I just been hooked, you know. And at first,
the challenge that it provides.
oh yeah, for sure, you know. I mean, jiu-jitsu has been.
And it's weird because you start off right, and you don't really know. Well, you came from a wrestling background, but for like me, did you come from a wrestling background?
Slight.
So
But contact sports.
yeah, it's like I played hockey growing up, but I don't fucking know. You know, I remember whenever Josh was like, you know, the first time, right? The first time I was out there, it's like, let's just roll. And I'm like, what the fuck is rolling? And I'm just like, rolling.
Where are we rolling?
And I'm getting destroyed. I had no clue what the fuck to do. And then I just kept showing up. I keep getting my ass whooped. It's just keep showing up.
That's the key, though.
And eventually, okay, it's like,
Honestly,
okay, I'm
yeah,
starting to
it
learn
is.
how to do this. Okay, this person reacts whenever I do this. And just kind of, you start learning a little bit more every single day. But I think the whole thing is that you just never quit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just no matter what, you just keep coming back. And then eventually you'll figure that shit out.
What's the poster that at least used to be in the last gym? It was
Oh,
like
yeah.
a black belt,
Every-
just a white belt that didn't quit.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly right. Yeah.
All right, so Rob, why did you start?
So I like originally had started in around 2015, and I only got like a month in.
By the way, we're in 2025.
Yeah. And this was at Diego's when he was part of Octopus, named after him. And,
Yeah.
You know, obviously they
The whole drama.
stole his name.
Yeah. whatever.
So, hey, just for the record, we are Team Diego, Team Octopus.
Yep.
Not to be confused with
Yeah.
Octopus MMA. But yeah, so I started there, and I was running a fitness subscription company, and I had to be involved in that. So like a month into jiu-jitsu, I injured my shoulder, and I don't know if it was jiu-jitsu or the gym, but I kind of had to pick the gym at that time, so I couldn't keep going, which pisses me off now because I'd be close to a black belt, if not already a black belt. But then, what was it, 2023, I guess, I started? Does that sound right?
Yeah, right.
So 2023, but yeah, I think I just honestly, and it's gonna sound douchey and corny, you know, the world is a dangerous place,
It
and
is.
I just want to be as dangerous as possible to the threats in the world that might come towards my family, and that might be a very small chance. But what's that other quote? It's I think it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war.
Yeah.
Well said.
So
Damn, that's
yeah, I
awesome.
just wanna be as dangerous as possible for my family and be able to provide them with as much protection as possible. And I know that kind of sounds corny or whatever, but that's my why.
I mean,
That
you know, we
perfectly
don't train jiu-jitsu to obviously to fight people, right? But there's something about it where I wouldn't want to be at a situation, not that I never want to be put at this situation, but if I were to ever be put at this situation where I have to protect my family, I'd rather know what I'm doing to protect my family and not knowing what to do, you know? And, and I think there's a huge, of course, there's a huge difference in that, but there's something about like the confidence, you know, like I can protect my family, you know? And that comes with huge with jiu-jitsu, you know? I know a lot of people have this perception of people saying like jiu-jitsu, you could only do it on the ground, but at the end of the day, you could say like striking is, you know, with boxing or MMA, whatever you want to say, but at the end of the day, if you get on the ground, if you don't know what you're doing, I mean, you're basically screwed, you know? Like you,
80% of your fights land on the ground, start on the ground.
Yeah, the majority of fights, real fights, end up on the ground unless it's like, you know, a quick knockout.
What's that stat? 80% or some shit? That's
maybe
that's
higher.
That's a solid fucking statistic.
Yeah.
So,
but there's, I'm just gonna be crushing quotes right now, but I made another one I saw was like, you know, if you're not, what is it? If you can't perform violence, like you're not non-violent or peaceful, you're harmless. You know, if like you don't have the capability to be violent or to, you know, defend yourself or whatever, it's like you're not peaceful, you're harmless. You know, you don't have the ability. So being able to have that skill and in your back pocket, use it as needed. And I mean, obviously there's so many other benefits, like you said, dude. That hour and a half that you get to be there
with your buddies and shit, hanging out.
There's camaraderie, but even like without that, you're on the mat. And there's nothing in my life I can think of other than jiu-jitsu when you're there.
Yeah.
Which
well,
is
even
so
whenever
great.
you leave, right? You're driving home.
Yep.
And you're thinking about that the whole ride home.
Yeah.
You know.
And sometimes you're like,
you know, what
sucking
technique?
wind, you got your ass kicked, and sometimes you're like, I kicked ass, and sometimes you're just even. But
what technique did I learn tonight? Okay, this is what I got submitted with, but how do I learn how to, you know,
but you know what the great thing is?
before?
Like, I know you, Todd, you played hockey. I know you play sports. Rob, you played sports growing up, you know, football. And I think for us who wanted to do some sort of, we wanted to carry on that sports, some sort of sports in our life.
Yeah,
you know?
we couldn't do it at our age.
Yeah, you know, like, because, you know, of course, when you're growing up in school and whatnot, you know, you could pick up the sports, but it gets harder as you get older, you know, once you're out of school. And
more
I think jiu-jitsu is such a great way and great sports for you to just kind of, you know, get your mind off and learn something new. And at the same time, you know, like we just talked about, it's a great way to make friendship. Like, you know, I met Todd. Hey, come through, man. And
want to talk about your jiu-jitsu experiences?
Yeah, before I met Rob, I remember when Rob first started jiu-jitsu, we were calling him Spazzy Socks. This was before I met Rob. And
is this where you wore socks on the mat?
My grappling socks.
Yeah.
I had sensitive feet, and my wife got me grappling socks.
And Todd, you know, I met Todd when he was with
Josh.
Is it Evolution?
Yeah.
No, he was at a different gym, you know, training at a different gym. But I remember, well, when I met Todd, I was like, you know, we should hang out. And we never did. And come to find out, Todd was like talking to Rob. And I never had a chance to hang out with Rob or talk to Rob. And we just kind of, you know,
Jay initiated the hangout. Yeah.
But, you know, we all kind of came together and we made a huge
that's the cool thing about the whole jiu-jitsu
exactly
community, right? That's how that works and shit.
Jay, talk about why you didn't like Rob at first.
Right, first of all,
was it my socks?
It wasn't the socks, honestly. You know,
are you good now, E?
As you know, as a man, you have this ego, right? And I understand.
Here's it now. Hey, come marinate.
You know,
come here and
as a man,
join
like
the chat.
you know, you have this respect for yourself, and you don't want to lose, right? We have this, especially for me, I'm a very competitive person, so I didn't want to lose. And I know Rob just started, and at that moment, I didn't know.
And that's another round with the Mat Rats. If you laughed, learned, or questioned your life choices, make sure you hit that follow button so you don't miss the next choke-filled chaos session. And share this with your teammates, especially the ones who don't cut their nails. So until next time, stay dangerous, tap early, and don't forget to shower after class, friends. Oos!